My husband never understood why I always give the homeless man outside our building a $50 bill on Tuesdays. Just today, he discovered the truth. Every Tuesday for 3 years, I've handed James Parrott, the man who sits outside our apartment building, Parrott a $50 bill. My husband Ryan thinks I am being excessive, even irresponsible. You could give him $5, Ryan would say, or buy him a sandwich instead. You don't know what he's spending it on. I just smile and say sometimes faith means trusting people to know what they need better than you do. Ryan would shake his head, that familiar crease forming between his eyebrows, the same look he gave me when I quit my corporate job to start a photography business. The practical one, always worried about financial security. Last Tuesday started like any other. I approached James with my usual greeting and the folded bill. He nodded with that quiet dignity I've always admired and tucked it into his jacket pocket without looking at it. Taryn, just like every week, your husband still think you were crazy for this? James asked with his gentle smile. Some things don't need explaining, I replied. What Ryan never knew per tar, what I never told him, Parrott, was that 12 years ago I was James, not literally James, but I was the person sleeping in a shelter applying for jobs with the address of a women's center, showering at the YMCA before interviews. One crisp fall day, a woman in a red coat handed me a $50 bill while I was sitting outside a coffee shop. This isn't charity, she said when I tried to refuse it. This is one human recognizing another. Do something meaningful with it. That $50 bought me a decent outfit from Goodwill for my interview at a photography studio. Yesterday, Ryan came home early from work. I wasn't there, Port. I was shooting a wedding across town. But James was in his usual spot. Ryan later told me he decided to finally ask James directly what he did with the money I gave him each week. Something to prove his point about enabling bad habits. Your wife's money, James had replied. I can show you exactly where it goes. Ryan followed James 6 blocks to a small community center with a sign that read New Bringing's Job Readiness Program. In fly, James greeted several people by name before introducing Ryan to the director. This is Monica's husband, James explained. He wants to know about our Tuesday classes, the director smiled. James is one of our best financial literacy instructors. His banking background is invaluable. Our participants relate to him because he's been where they are. Ryan stood frozen as the director continued. We charge $50 minus per session, but it covers materials for everyone. James insisted on paying his own way when he started teaching here. Said it was important to him. Banking background was all Ryan could manage to ask. 20 years at First National? James nodded. Lost it all in 2020, parent divorce, pandemic layoffs, medical bills. But that's not the story that matters. What matters is what happens next. When I got home, Ryan was waiting with a strange expression. He handed me a business card. James Wilson, financial resilience instructor. He's been teaching financial literacy classes with your money, Ryan said quietly, to people transitioning out of homelessness. He has a master's degree in economics. I nodded. I know. How long have you known? Since the beginning. He told me the first month, said he couldn't take my money under false pretenses. Ryan's eyes filled with tears. Why didn't you tell me? I sat beside him and took his hand, because James taught me something important when I first met him. Sometimes people need to be trusted before they can rebuild. Sometimes dignity is more important than details. This morning, Ryan left for work early. When I looked out the window, I saw him talking with James. Before heading into the subway, he handed James something. It looked like a $50 bill. Sometimes the greatest gifts we give each other aren't things, but the chance to be seen as the people we're still becoming. A tree Claude can make mistakes.